Hello, Tiki Gray here to look at two replays against Imari consisting of a one base push. Well, both games have one base pushes, but in this first game, I have to do two pushes. Now let's just look at the video, or the replay I should say. So Imari, not often on, very strong player though. Very good execution and sense of how to play the game. But they don't play often, so they're rusty, I assume. Unless they play under an alt, but I don't think there's really any that are high tier alts going around. Now, Imari is running a Squizode, Mole, Falcon Cam, very not standard deck, since it's kind of like an early mid aggression deck, because it doesn't have any in game or late game in it, and attacking's not very good in this game. Like, if you're trying to break like Lizard MG Skunk Snake or Squizard Skunk Snake with this deck, probably not gonna work. And I actually was watching Tataka's stream, and he with Lizard MG, he just like crushed Imari's Skrill Toad Mole attempt to break it. Like, it was so close. Like you're looking at it, it's like, oh, this should work, but it doesn't because moles are bad and defense is so good. So I'm just running my Lizard tier 2 deck. Now, since I did see Imari play Toads against Tataka in the stream, which I saw right before these games, I am aware that Imari might be running Toads. My plan is to go 2 Lizard Warren and the Skunk. Fortunately, I see that he's going Mill right away, so I just decided to go ahead and get Skunk now, because if I wait, like if I just have Liz and he shows up with like Skrill Toad or Lizard Toad, I just lose. MG can kind of equalize that, but I don't really want to take a chance. I just want to get my comp into shape. Unfortunately, I'm going to be super behind on economy because of this. Now this is like one farm. You're like, oh, that's not a lot, but it's like one farm that's like a minute ahead of me. So then I put down my farm, which still takes 20 seconds to build. So my first farm starts building on my second mill, and he puts down 2 more farms. Then I get to like 4 farms, and he has like 7 farms, while I have 4 farms. This is not good. So this is happening. Imari now putting down the Toads. Very good. Because I'm pretty sure Imari's woman, but if she has 9 Lizard and I see that, I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna match your Lizards. So I go 9 Lizard. Then I go 15 Lizard, then they show up with 9 Lizard, 6 Toad or something. It's like, oh, that's not good. Now, I decided to try to go for a push here just because I like playing aggressive, and I had the tier 2 advantage. And I didn't actually, I don't think I scouted the Toads until now. So, what we want to do, and just in general, pretty much universally with Skunks, against flanks like this, with Squizzard, Liz Toad, just whatever it is, you always want to put yourself in a way to make the opponent not be able to flank you, which in this case means traveling down towards this corner right here. And this does 2 things. So first, this happens, and this is like 9 Liz versus 12 Liz and a Skunk. A lot of Skunk shooting over here, so this is obviously can't happen. Imari needs to pull back, or we're going to lose. And this is really nice for me because now I can get up here and they basically have to force to attack me from one direction. It's a little bit of a wide angle, but it's not like a big flank, so that's really nice for me. They're going to run into the Skunk Gas with Toads and Lizards. The second thing is because they're going back, and you always want to be looking for this when you're pushing with Skunks, at least early and early mid. You want to try to put down gas on the pigs so you can get gas down before the fight starts. Because look, now now gas is starting to go down. It's pretty much at the same time the Lizards get here, but there's already a little bit of gas right here. That's nice. So yeah, now all their units, they're just running for all the gas. Like, oh, their stuff is dying. Now, okay, so I messed up. I thought they were down to like 2 Toads here. They still have 3 Toads left. And with 2 Toads, yeah, I should lose like 2 Liz, maybe 3. But then I still have, 5 left over. But they still had 3 Toads, so now I'm down to 2 lizard, which is not good. Because if I had, say, 5 lizard here, I could almost certainly kill these 2 pigs. If I start retreating. Now, this is really important when you're running back for units. And this is more so of lizard, since lizard will just get there so fast. But what you want to do is keep your control or whatever on the skunk unit. And you want to be pulling the skunk unit back individually. But you want to be also giving rally all. So your lizard will run up here while you're individually microing the skunk back. And yeah, just do this and save it. So if you look at the army graph, it's kind of roughly equal trade. I took a pig, but he's already, on 2 farms on the second mill. This pig was like half used up. It's not like, this is minutes of food ahead of me. And at this point, I'm like, oh, this is not fun. So I decided to go cams here. Now, why would I go cams instead of falcon or snake or farms? Because I want to push again, because lizard toad is an awful composition, and it's really, really bad against skunk cam. Snakes are not nice stats here. Like, they're really nice if the enemy army can't fight you because you force them to fight, because you start killing everything with snakes. But if they can fight, snakes are not worth a whole lot, especially against so much DPS like this. And again, snakes in general aren't good against Master 1. So I decided to go for the cams, because cams and skunks both suck up toad hits really well, and cams also kill lizards really well, and just really good here. Like, there's no counter to the cams. And cams also kill toads really, really well, which might sound kind of weird, but if he's trying to drag his toads into my lizards, my cams are just gonna like whack them right away. So I can just like move my lizards in a way that tries to at least make his toads and lizards move around my skunks and cams. So he's going lots of farms, another cam warn. Also going farms. Did a little sell and rebuild right here. Now I'm basically going for a pretty similar line of attack. Just gonna travel up this way now. Kind of hard to get. It's kind of awkward to get over here now, since there's so many units. Like, the fight's gonna happen before I get over here at this point. So he has 3 cams, 9 lizards, 6 toads, a falcon warren building. So I actually have more army than him right now, because he put a lot of money into farms and tech, and it hasn't, like, 20 seconds from now, like, he'd match my army, but I'm hitting it pretty much to almost perfect moment. This fight starts off really well for me. Okay, so here's what happens. His first cam of the 3 gets caught out and instantly starts to go down. Which is actually... Now, I still lose that cam pretty quickly, but a bunch of his toads detonate on it. And again, he had 3 cams versus my 2 cams, so that's a really nice fight. And now it's 8 Liz versus 18 Liz. And these toads are so far behind. Like, I start to pick off his units, but then I run away, another toad detonates on the cam. And again, see, with 2 toads, like, 2 toads on your Liz blob aren't gonna do much. Like, a lot of my lizards are low health, but it's not a big deal. Like, if there are 3 toads, yeah, half these lizards will be dead, but there's only 2. And now it's still a pretty tricky situation, but he has only these 2 cams left, and even though my lizards are so low health, I have enough DPS to just kill the cams right away before they kill all my lizard. So at this point, it's kind of a question mark on what you want to do, because you have 7 lizard here, or yeah, 7 of them, I think. Or is there 8 right now? Okay, let's say 8, but all these guys are almost half health or lower, so they're all gonna die right away. An 8 lizard is 160 food, which is not insignificant. That's a lot. That's like a lot. So you might want to pull back right now, but I decided to keep pushing Because one, I didn't know how many farms he had on this mill. I didn't think he had 8 farms, but I was pretty much positive he had more farms than me. I also figured he might also have a tech advantage since he didn't have a lot of units, so maybe he has another tier 2 Warren. So he has more farms, a better composition. And sure, I did take that fight a lot better, so I can probably just go back to my base and go up the 8 farms myself and equalize the game, but I decided to keep pushing here because he has Lizard, Toad, Cam, from what I can see. Now, Lizard's basically a melee unit, Toad's a melee unit, Cam's a melee unit, and the problem with that is you can't regroup in a situation like this because, like, you can't. I'm just going to keep on pushing, and he has to engage. You can't try to stay back a little like with Skrills. So another Cam shows up that he was building, but this gets again instantly killed from the DPS. So I bring my Lizards back for a second, just to let the Skunks get down. Better engage. Again, letting the Toads hit whatever, just spreading out the damage. And now it's looking really bad, and this is where Skunks really start to shine, because in this situation, well, Ado's shooting the pig, but as tier 1 spawned, like the Skunks are just gonna lay down gas forever, and he has to fight through so much gas that's just gonna be there forever until my Skunks die. Now a Falcon comes out, which was a little bit tricky. I was like, oh, maybe I'll lose the Skunks, but I just have so much Lizard production since I have 6 Warrens. It's yeah, it's just not gonna work. Like he really and because of the constant trickle of tier 1, he was supply blocked on the tier 2 for the most part. It's just, and I somehow got a Cam building throughout all of that. I don't know how. Again, see, this is what I was talking about. Look at so the Toad 8-1 or the Chameleon 8-1 Toad hit, and now it just killed a Nether Toad super easily. And now it ate a Nether Toad hit. Like Cams are super good against Toads. And so lots of people say things like the counter editor things, but numbers really matter. Like mass Toads are good against mass Cams, but 2 Cams are in early situations like this are actually really nice against Toads, in my opinion. He has a Chameleon come out, but again, it just gets DPS down by the Lizard super quickly, and yeah. He surrenders. Look at that other one. This is going to be an even quicker game. It's just one push. So Tatanka was playing a campaign, and then in the KSR base, they're in the Volkov's like room where he's yelling at all the guys, whatever, I don't know. It's the unit lineup is Skrill, Pigeon, Mole, Falcon, Skunk. Those 5 units are in that room, and those units go pretty well with Badger. So I was like, and Tatanka said that looks like a Badger deck. I was like, I kind of want to run that now in a ranked game. So here I am. Is this deck good? It's decent. It's okay, not bad. I mean, the moles are a very questionable pick, but everything else is maybe not great, but it's probably solid. Because like Skrill, Pigeon, Falcon, Skunk, Badgers, like this Skrill, Pigeon, Falcon, Skunk is an extremely defensive comp. Like you really lack fighting power or like pushing power against, say, Lizard or a composition of Lizard or Cams, because those units just have so much DPS, or they just have so much health and DPS and stats in open terrain. It's really hard to take a fight there. So he has mines, which is interesting. I never actually saw any mines this game. I never ran over any of them, I don't think. So yeah, we didn't plant any food at first. I wanted to see if he was going to go mill first, in which case I was going to go mole. That's why I wasn't doing anything. And I guess he was waiting to see what I would do too. So I pretended to put down a Skunk Warren. But now I'm going Skrills. Since I was thinking of trying to do like some sort of push, like maybe he goes mill and he has like 9 skills, and I show with 12 skills and just win the game. But he ends up with a lizard, and I was like, wow, on a tier 2 Warren. And it's really funny, if I went 4 Warren, I could have punished this actually. I would have. But since I went 5 Warren, like I supply blocked myself and really slowed down my production. So I was like, nah. I can't push in time to make it work. So I decided to go into 2 tier 2 Warrens. Now, this is also a question. You want 4 skunks or skunk falcons? Since falcons are really not good stats against lizards in fights. But skunks are really not good against cams. So I decided to go for the just get falcon and skunk. He's expanding. And I decided to well, I basically decided to go for a push because I don't really have a safe second mill. This is really exposed to some sort of flank, whether it be snakes, cams, or lizards. I probably could have taken this one, but I just didn't really feel comfortable trying it. Although, I pretty much certainly could have taken this mill. But so yeah, I just go with tennis drills here. Just getting snakes. I think he probably went snakes because he was planning to push against me. Or I guess it's just because snakes are really a nice addition to the comp. Well, theoretically, and if there's a fight that's about to happen from me pushing, you probably want 4 cams, not two cams and 2 snakes, because that's just a lot more raw stats, and the snakes aren't going to be super useful against 18 drills. But if I show up with like a tier 3 or something, or I try to take a forward mill, like Imari would like the snakes to harass. Since they are ahead on economy, so let's say I take a forward mill, Imari's ahead. It's only 1 farm, but that's still something. Like if they have 3 more tier 1, that's 3 more tier 1. I can swing a fight. So I go a mill, I put down the farm, Imari's just ahead on eco. At some point, he just tries to start pressuring me, and that's what the snakes are there for. Now, so funnily enough, he sold a mine right here. You put one right here, which is kind of reasonable since you 95% of the time you want to attack the second mill. You don't want to kill farms that are going to run out in a minute anyway. You want to be killing fresh farms. But I don't decide to go over here because this is not the best terrain. I was briefly considering going this way, but I decided to change my mind because I was just kind of iffy on that. Since I knew he had cams. I see a snake. I know there's lizards back here. I didn't like the way that fight looked. So instead, I decided to go this way. Because, oh boy. So this is super bad terrain. Since he's basically running a melee comp out of snakes. So he's going to have so much trouble finding tiles because there's like cliff right here. And now, if you look on the menu, this is only 2 tiles to cliff. But lizards only have like 2 range. So if they can't find these 2 tiles, that's actually like it's not gonna, it's not the biggest deal in the real, but it's actually a pretty big deal. Just even 2 tiles blocking lizard spots right here. Plus, then there's a bunch of water. There's more tiles right here. It's just really hard for lizards to find tiles, especially when I have so many skrills out. I'm just occupying all the tiles. You'll see what happens. So yeah, I started shooting over here. I started killing off horns, which basically forces them to push. So I rapidly swing around to meet this. And yeah, his toads are really delayed. It's just so bad. So he just had 1 snake finish building spawn over here. That's not his fault. But like his toads were way behind because I pushed over here and made him attack. So like if he tried to wait, like he's gonna lose at least these 2 warrens, the pig, and probably this warren. He's just gonna be losing hundreds of food. He has to push now and try to stop me. And like look at these lizards, like they're just running because they can't find tiles. Like they can't use these 2 cliff tiles right here, so they have to try to find other tiles. It's just not working. So now I start to focus down the cams. The toads do show up, but okay, yeah, the toads, but some of them die. The others explode on skunks that already have snake tags on them anyway, so it's basically a waste of damage. I focus down the snakes. Again, he's running lizard toad, which is really bad. Like, wait, so this is hard for me to tell. I think I feel like I have a skill behind Archimedes, but I'm not sure. But so I have one Falcon that's 2 shots away from death, a skill that's 1 shot away, another skill that's 2 shots, a full health skill. Now this is really low numbers and pretty much looks like an overextension. Like if I was fighting Skrills here or Squizzard, like he'd push me back. But I actually have another Falcon coming back, and I have another wave of skills coming forward too, but it's gonna take a couple seconds. But again, he has Lizard Toad, so I can just like the Toad. Okay, the other thing is all his Lizard's Warrens are right here, so now he's down to 2 Lizard Warrens, which is really hurting his production. And see, I'm just bursting down all these units. Because even though I have so little units, I can just kill them as they trickle in. Yeah, now my skills arrive, and now the game's just over. Moral of the story, Lizard Toad is really bad. And don't let yourself get flanked. Yeah. If you're pushing, just move your army, maneuver your army in a way to make the enemy not be able to flank you. Like you could start shooting it, like just move to another part of their base and start shooting their base. Like don't give them time to reposition appropriately as you move around. Just go start killing stuff in their base, like I was doing there. In the first game, just that too. Just try to maneuver, use the terrain to your advantage. I'll let them flank you. That will be the end of this video.